Where are we today? Where's the guy got us this time? Well, we're at the NASFT Fancy Food Show in New York City. Now, that should give you a hint. NASFT, National Association of Specialty Food Trade, and they call this thing the Fancy Food Show. Gives you an idea when this started. This is the 51 years. Every summer for 51 years, the whole fancy food trade, as it used to be called, congregates in New York City. This is where the rubber meets the road. If you're somebody with a great idea, the best new potato chip, a hot new salsa, your grandmother's biscotti, and you want to sell it, you take out a booth here, because this is where all the buyers are. Buyers from around the country, from all the big boys to the independents, come here to check stuff out. So we're going to do that. We're going to do the fancy food show, run around, see what we can find. There's some interesting stories in there. Eat, and you know the drill. So here we are inside at the Fancy Food Show, sprawling over 2 floors at the Javits Center, with thousands of exhibitors. Almost every country's represented. Everybody from the biggest of the big to the little of the little. Well, we want stories here today. So today we're going to meet 2 sisters from Vermont trying to save the family's apple farm. A great gal from Brooklyn with a wonderful idea for a spritzer. A guy that makes Tupelo Honey. That's right, there is such a thing as Tupelo Honey. And a rock guitarist from Aerosmith who's now in the hot sauce business. Hey, stay tuned, we got some stories. We're here with Ron Stracy, one of the owners of Ryos.
Right.
If you've never heard of Ryos, that's because either you haven't been around New York for very long or you're dead. You can't get in the place, it's popular, it's been there for how long? Tell me the story.
My grandfather and his brothers opened the restaurant in 1896. It's we believe, the oldest restaurant with the same family in the same location.
Tell me about what you're doing here at the NASFT
Well,
show.
10, 11 years ago, because the restaurant is so small and because it's so difficult, if you can't come to Ryos, we'll come to you. So from starting with 1 sauce, now we have 10 sauces, we have marinades, we have roasted peppers.
So a show like this is great for you because you're getting buyers from around the country who may or may not have heard of the product who you can introduce it to.
It's an attempt to renew relationship with old friends and show them the new products, and to meet new friends and show them the whole line.
Pierre Chouart. Now, I was walking by, I'm seeing the Rainforest Alliance, I'm seeing you guys. Chocolate Rainforest Alliance, what's the connection?
The connection is we started to care with the trees. We started to say, well, you want good chocolate, start taking care of the tree that are grown in the rainforest. Don't go with the trees that are mass-produced, that are the same kind of trees that are hybrids cacao. So we said, protect the trees, you'll get the right cocoa beans. With the right cocoa beans, if you're careful, you'll do a great chocolate. So it doesn't start at the bean, it starts at the trees. It started taking care of the people that are taking care of those trees, and that's what we do. It's an entire ecosystem. Help the people, help the trees, look at their surrounding, help them build roads, schools, make sure the children use clean water, and eventually they will also spend more time on the cocoa plantation, do better cocoa beans, and then we can make chocolate right there on the plantation.
When I was a kid, it was a great song. A guy named Van Morrison. Tupelo Honey. And I've sang it. I mean, I know that song. Who doesn't know that song? She's a sweet. Well, I'm not a tenor, but well, there is a. We're gonna get him to sing then.
Yeah.
There is a Tupelo Honey. Tell me about this. I'm here. I just met you, Ted Denard. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell me what you guys do.
We specialize in making Tupelo honey, or having the bees make the Tupelo honey.
Where's it come from?
It comes from the swamps and rivers and forests. That photograph back there shows you a bunch of Tupelo trees. They grow in the flooded rivers, and only
So it's like a swamp kind of thing.
Definitely, and indigenous just to the southeast, nowhere else in the world. And then the trees only bloom for sometimes only 3 days out of the year. Sometimes it's 2 weeks.
It's got to be a lonely bee. I mean, you wait all year for a 3-day bloom?
Yeah, well, we move the bees there right before the bloom and during the bloom, and then we take the honey off as soon as it's finished to keep it pure. And the honey never crystallizes or granulates, and it just has a taste like no other honey. It really is the queen of the honey world.
Tupelo Honey 101. Absolutely like an explosion. Really sort of citrusy yuzu on the front. I mean, just an amazing, still in there. Real jasmine sort of at the end almost. This real nice floral thing all over.
Sweet goes away on your tongue.
That is fantastic. That's great.
She's as sweet as Tupelo honey.
I'm here with Joe Perry, and for the 2 people that don't know you, I just want you to think of the opening bar chords to Walk This Way. That's you.
That's me.
That's you. So, how does the guitarist from one of the hottest rock bands of all time end up in the salsa business?
Well, it's
Or sauce
really,
business.
really hot sauce, but to me, my musical roots go back to the blues, obviously. I mean, you can tell by listening to what we play. And to me, blues and barbecue kind of are like this.
Hey,
and
Delta Blues, Mississippi.
I love that kind of food. Food's in my blood. I'm half Italian, half Portuguese, and it just kind of, over the years of just kind of going off to the roadside places all through the South and finding good barbecue. It's one of my hobbies when we're on the road. And I was finding there was a taste out there that I wasn't tasting. So we came up with a hot sauce.
So the sauce that you make, would you put it on chicken, ribs, all that stuff?
Well, I
What you
would
use it
do
for?
this. My favorite thing is to put it on steak or hamburgers. It's good. I put it on eggs. I put it on
as a
pizza.
condiment.
Yeah, I put it
Okay.
on pizza. I put it on. It's really a hot sauce. It's like a table sauce. And then the other one is more of a fruit-based kind of sauce. It's still a little spicy, but I use it on chicken and fish and things like that.
Where's some of the best barbecue you had in the country? You've traveled all over. You guys toured all over.
Probably one of my favorites is in Kansas City, and it's LC's barbecue.
What's it called?
LC's.
Unbelievably good, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's the real deal. Yeah.
I'm walking by here, and I look at this brand, and I love it. How do you pronounce it? Nimon or Nimon? Nimon Ranch. I mean, I love these guys. I get the web stuff that you send me. You guys are like one of the brand leaders for an all-natural, properly done. How do you describe it?
Traditionally raised, family farm produced,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, and you're the guy. So
Yeah,
this is only the second show that you've done of this type.
that's correct. We began, we're a San Francisco Bay company, so we did our first show in January at the equivalent show in San Francisco.
Right.
And we felt so good about it and met so many people that were interested in what we're doing and had access to a huge number of foodies. And we just shipped the booth to New York, and here we are.
Tell me about Nimon Ranch. I mean, this is a great story. You're a couple of hippies from Berkeley that wanted to do something better.
That's correct. Well, all we were interested in is raising our own food and feeding our families and trying to get off the grid. It was an interesting time in history, so we moved to the country, 25 miles north of San Francisco, and started raising our own food. And pretty soon we were feeding our families and our neighbors and our extended families, and then community. And community has grown to coast-to-coast network of over 500 family-owned farms and thousands of customers today that are enjoying it in restaurants or in taquerias or at Whole Foods and Trader Joe's as well. So.
I make a drink called Busy Lizzy, which consists of fruit juice and seltzer with no added sugar, corn syrup, caffeine, or preservatives. I got the idea because I always mix juice and seltzer, but could never find it in stores.
Mm-hmm.
And
So you buy a bottle of seltzer, buy some fruit juice, do a little mix yourself, get it the way you want it, and
Exactly.
say, hey, why isn't anybody doing this?
why isn't anybody doing it? Or if they are doing it, why aren't they doing it the real way?
Rather than sweetening it and gussing it up, and
Exactly.
Yeah. She's going to get big. I can tell what's going to happen. You know what? A couple of these big orders, gets real big, goes public. I won't be able to get you on the phone in 3 weeks.
You will
That's
totally
what's
be able to
gonna
get me on the
happen.
phone.
The San Daniele, what makes this region special for the production of prosciutti?
We have in San Daniele a microclimate very particular because we are in the center of the region between mountains and sea, and in San Daniele there is a climate very particular, and so the seasoning of prosciutti is better than in other parts of Italy.
So you look, it's really cut paper thin. The fat is delicious. If you're looking at that, wondering about that, the fat's a big part of the flavor component. Oh. Very signature flavor too.
Okay.
I mean, very distinctive flavor profile. I don't know if it's the spices or the climate or what, but the flavor is very San Daniele.
San Daniele,
Yeah,
yes. Okay,
absolutely.
yes.
I'm here with Antonella, who represents the Grana Padano Consortium. Tell us a bit about Grana Padano cheese, because I think people get it confused. It looks like a wheel of Parmesan. It's a similar cheese, but you tell me about Grana Padano.
Well, Grana Padano mainly is the competitor of Parmigiano Reggiano on the market. It's basically made with the same recipe. The main difference between the two is that a little less fat in the Grana Padano.
Now, this cheese is very popular in Italy.
Yes,
And it's
I
consumed
grew up
how?
with it.
You grew up with it. So is with tomato sauce, with cream sauces, eaten by itself?
I would say not because I want to be biased, because I think both are very excellent, but I would say that this is a little more versatile in comparison to Parmigiano Reggiano for my taste, because I can eat as much as I want, eating as it is. Parmigiano is a little sharper to me. It's too sharp. So I would go better for the Grana Padano, but you know.
But everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Exactly.
I'm here with Stefano. Tell me the story about how you got into cheese making. How many years ago and where?
I started in 1977 with a group of young friends in Tuscany. We take a neglected farm. We are students, we are someone work in the school, and we decided to start with a new way of life in the country. We take a neglected farm, and we started with breeding of is a joke now thinking, because 3 heads of cow and 40
Three cows.
3 cows and 40 heads of sheep.
That's a very neglected farm.
Yeah. And we started with production of pecorino in Tuscany, is the traditional production. We asked to other shepherds, the old shepherds, in what way we make cheese, what we need to doing, and so in this way, step by step, the company is coming up. Now in 2005. The 25 family that now became our company. It's a cooperative.
So it's a cooperative. 25 families living
25,
together on this farm, all helping to raise sheep and cows for cheeses. And
If you think of a secondary promotion in here, it could be anything. You have to think of the promotion carefully.
We're a third-generation apple farm, started by my grandfather, and we have branched out into value-added apple products.
And the reason for this is anybody, the urban types watching say, oh, an apple farm, great. Yeah, well, that worked for a couple generations. Now it's called going broke. Right. So you own an apple, you have 2 choices. Sell it to a developer for condos and...
Or golf courses.
Or golf courses, of which I'm guilty of participating in. Or value-added. Now tell us what that means in terms of what you're doing.
With our value-added apple products, we are able to use every apple we grow now and turn it into a high-end apple product.
This is what? I tasted this. What are you calling this again?
Now, this is just pure apple cider syrup, which is just our own apple cider that we press down. It's approximately a 10-to-1 ratio. 10 gallons of cider to get 1 gallon.
And what would this be used for at home?
People love this one in cooking. They like it as marinades.
This is part of a vinaigrette. It has
right, in a vinaigrette. Yes, I have great
acidity.
recipes for vinaigrettes. They like it over waffles, pancakes, all the traditional.
So this is great stuff. And you guys still both live on the land, still both live on the farm.
Yes.
Married now, raising your families.
Yes.
Well, that's a great story. Hopefully you do well enough with this that you don't have to sell out to a golf course, a developer.
That's the whole purpose here.
And the kids will want to maybe stay in the business.
We're hoping one of them at least will want to stay in.
All right. I just love it. The name, The Fancy Food Show. I mean, this goes back like, what is 1950s or something, when they actually had fancy food. I remember that. At one point, my dad had several businesses, and one of them was, I guess he was about my age at that point, late 40s. He bought a business. A couple of friends had been lending some money, and he didn't know a lot about this business. He knew about sales. He knew about food a bit. But it was an import specialty, kind of a gourmet business. And back then, gourmet food was like snails in cans with the snail shells on top, Belgian carrots in jars, little salamis from Denmark, cans of mussels. I mean, this was fancy food. And that's where the name of the Fancy Food Show comes from, those days. And now the industry's grown so much, and the name's sort of an anachronism or silly. But it's a classic thing. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where people with ideas, entrepreneurs that want to start businesses, get the money, go out and make the product, whatever it's going to be, and bring it to the buyers. This is where all the action happens. They had that great story with the fizzy Lizzy, I forget the name of it. She was great. I mean, she had this great idea. Why doesn't somebody make a spritzer? It's seltzer and juice, and there she is. Bang. 5 years later, big success. I love going to that show for that. And I used to help my dad set his booth up, too. I used to go there on Saturdays, back when it was open on Saturday. Set his booth up. And on Wednesdays, you'd go around and trade stuff, and you'd come home with, like, little jars of olive oil and boxes of chocolates and stuff. It's very exciting when you're 13. Well, we saw those guys there with the chocolate, the Rainforest Alliance. Really good idea because, cocoa's been kind of bastardized. This company, Plantations, they're supporting the real species, the real crop, as well as trying to make sure that everybody from the bottom up makes a living. The same things happen with coffee. I mean, I see this in the industry all the time. People don't realize, you go buy this food that's so cheap, and then you think, how can it possibly be that cheap? I mean, how can a can of this stuff from China retail for 29, 39, 69 cents? I mean, the can probably costs that much to ship it from China, right? Because somebody's not making any money. So, these guys are doing the right thing, supporting it. And this is a great product. I talked to him about this. This is this atomized chocolate stuff. And what it says here is really the big deal. Mixes instantly in any hot or cold liquid. See, I like that sort of thing because I'm a klutz when it comes to baking. And chocolate is particularly difficult. There's all of these things you have to balance out with temperatures and oils. And so I'm going to make something with this because it's kind of brain dead easy. And even then, I still needed help. So my assistant arranged everything here in a tray for me. It's all weighed out and scaled out. And you say, well, Michael, what are you going to make? What are you going to make? Well, I'm going to make an ice cream sandwich. Ha! Yes, an ice cream sandwich. It's hot, it's the summer, and you're thinking, what? But don't you love ice cream sandwiches? I do. That little chocolate dough on the outside and then vanilla ice cream on the inside, or maybe chocolate. And imagine if you can make them at home for your kids. I mean, wouldn't that be great? Homemade ice cream sandwiches. And you could customize them. Your own different kinds of ice cream in the middle, different flavorings, designs on the top. Huh? There's an idea. So we're gonna make the dough. The ice cream I bought, because I don't have an ice cream machine yet. We will soon, because it's easy to make ice cream. But we're gonna go into that, and we're gonna use this guy's chocolate, and here we go. Let's hope it works, because when I bake, you never know. When I bake, I need everything. I need all the dots connected. So this is my little notebook here. Step 1, I'm creaming together the following: 10x sugar, vanilla, flavoring, butter, the lipid of choice, that's my fat here, and this, which is his cocoa powder atomized chocolate. So that's the flavoring, and it's gonna go in there instantly. And creaming together means we're gonna get it, and we're gonna put it here in my little mixer. That's A. There's some flavoring. Here's the butter, and it probably wouldn't hurt to cut it into some smaller pieces just to ease it along. And here's this beautiful stuff, which is, I think, 45% chocolate, all natural flavorings, atomized. Actually, atoms, little tiny atoms of chocolate. Put them under a microscope. Look at that. That a pretty thing? Now, we put this on slowly. All right. And we're going to scrape that down in a minute. I'm going to scrape this bowl down because I always see good bakers doing this, and I simply imitate them. To this, we're going to add egg yolk and a little milk. The recipe is on the website. The recipe is on the website. I have it there. That's 1 egg yolk and an undisclosed amount of milk. Not much, a little bit. These are my dry ingredients, and I've sifted these together. You see me do this before. I have the little sifter thing. You have to do that in baking, because if you don't, you get these big clumps of salt and baking soda that didn't get incorporated into the flour. A, they taste yucky, really yucky. You don't want to eat baking soda or baking powder. Yeah. And it also helps the thing actually work. I've learned this the hard way. So there you go. There you go. Ah, ye of little faith, huh? All right, I'm going to plop this here, and then I'm going to... Can I use my fingers to scrape this off? Anybody mind that at home? Come on, it's baking. Baking. Everybody uses their fingers. You get to lick them, too. All right. Now, how am I going to turn this into a piece of dough? Well, you wait and see. Get this kind of into a... And we're rolling, rolling, rolling. I don't think these were designed for my hands. Well, I'm getting there. This is close. You should see me do spackle. This is actually pretty good. Oh, yeah. Into here it goes. And then I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, because now it's, like I said, butter, real soft, put it in the refrigerator, let it set up, then we're going to bake it. All right. 20 minutes later, out of the fridge, see the difference? It's firm. It's also cold, but it's firmed up an awful lot. I'm telling you, bacon makes me nervous. I mean, you know, until I'm done, I'm a nervous wreck with baking. And we're going to get this, plunk it down comme ça, and then hopefully, yeah, just like that, just like that. I'm going to dock this, and what this does is this keeps it from rising, because we don't want this to rise. Dough, oven, 3 1/4 with a fan on. There's my fan. Or 350 if you don't have a fan, and we're going to check it in 15 minutes. Should be done. This thing cooks quickly. There's nothing to it. So in the oven, she goes. Ding! It's been 15 minutes. Let's see what she looks like. Perfect. Perfect. All right, now comes the tricky part. I'm going to make my ice cream sandwich in this. The finished product's going to be this big. Then we're going to cut this into serving sections. So now what I got to do, here's my big challenge, is to make a cut in the dough. That should be fine right there. Now again, I want to trim this shape so it fits right in here. Now, we have our little template. Hey, easy does it. All right, and this is the bottom piece. Inside goes like this. Ice cream here. You can use chocolate. You can use vanilla. You can do 2 flavors. Lid side up. Into the freezer she goes, and we're going to make chocolate syrup for this. Without getting too fancy here, we got a 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of water on the stove. What I want to see, got those nice bubbles happening. I know all the sugar's dissolved. And this is why this stuff is wonderful. We're just going to add 5 tablespoons. All right, now we're just going to add a little bit of butter, because just like with hot food, if I'm making a sauce with veal stock or chicken or shrimp or fish stock, butter acts as a thickening agent. Yeah, you see that sheen, you add the butter and you just get suddenly that beautiful shine across the top. All right. It's been in the freezer. And oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ice cream sandwich. You thought I was kidding? Ice cream sandwich. We could do that. That's probably enough on one plate. Yeah, let's keep it simple. Just one piece. All right. We're just going to get that chocolate sauce. Do a little drizzle action. Oh yeah. Now, who's not going to like this at home, huh? I want a lot of sauce. Yeah, that's good. There you go. You know, you go to a fancy food show, you get these crazy ideas, little ice cream sandwich. Flip action. Oh yeah, it's nice, nice and firm. Come on, you break. Hey. Rawr. All right. Take that, Frank Carvel. Got the syrup going. Mm-hmm. Cold. Give me a minute. All right, so quite a year we've had. We made cheesesteaks one show, hot dog casserole another show, ice cream sandwich here. You know what I'm saying? We're going kind of middle brow this season. But this is fun stuff. Make it at home. Ice cream sandwich, kids around, everybody get involved in this project, smooshing down the dough, smooshing in the ice cream, making the syrup. You know what I'm saying? Fun with the family. Yeah, that's the theme. All right, great fancy food show, a lot of fun. Eat well often. Until next time, see ya.